They are native to India and Sri Lanka. They are unique in that although most deer are born with spots, those spots will fade as they mature, but the axis deer does retain its white spots throughout its entire lifetime. After you pass the axis deer, you're going to start seeing some coppery colored deer. These are the Barasinga deer. There's a bunch of babies down there, so look close. There's a baby against the fallen log. There's two babies right down there in the center. And much further to the right, these little animals that you're seeing are the black buck antelope. The male is standing right there by himself. You can see he's got those long, spiraled, gorgeous horns, and that darker coat that's more of a chocolate brown. He's got distinctive markings on his face. The Barasinga deer, which are those coppery colored deer, get their name from the male's antlers. The male's antlers can have anywhere from 12 to 14 points. And in Hindi, the word Barasinga means 12 times. Now it's you guys' turn. Can you guys tell me what is the largest mammal in the world? A blue whale. I've got a very smart person here. Now what's the largest land mammal? An elephant. Sadly, you guys are just about the first train to get that. Maybe the second. The next animals are Asian elephants. Elephants are the world's largest land mammal. Unfortunately, they're also becoming one of the rarest. An Asian elephant can weigh up to 12,000 pounds. With a size that large comes an appetite to mash. Each of our elephants, in addition to other vegetation, will eat up to 200 pounds of hay and drink up to 60 gallons of water every day. In addition to other vegetation, we spare no luxuries in caring for these ladies. Not only do they have their own private swimming pool, to the left of that pool, the tree stump you're seeing, their own personal back scratcher. They also get baths as well as pedicures twice a week. Take a look at their trunks as you're passing by. Not only are they an incredibly distinguishing feature, they're also an incredible tool comprised of over 40,000 different muscles. The elephant can use those trunks to very delicately pick up an egg without breaking it, or to rip down a tree with enormous force.
Oh, that was in a run.
As we round the corner, you're going to get a look at two Indian rhinos. They are mother and calf. Their names are Kali and Krishna. Krishna was born in October of 2008. These are just two of 9 endangered rhinos that we care for here at the Bronx Zoo. And although caring for them is one thing, breeding them is a whole different challenge. The female rhino is pregnant for 16 months. Just a quick reminder, guys, it is important for everybody's safety that you all do remain seated throughout the duration of our journey. Many people think that rhinos are armor-plated, but they actually have very sensitive skin. You guys look over here as you pass the rhinos. There's a little red robin sitting on her nest of eggs, so very soon we'll have little baby robins coming down. The rhinos don't have armor-plated skin. They have very sensitive skin with many folds and bumps. And that skin needs protection from sunlight and insects. One of the rhino's favorite ways to protect its skin is to wade into a mud wallow, roll around just a little bit till they've gotten a nice coating of mud over the top of their skin. And that mud works just a little bit like sunscreen and insect repellent might work for you and I. Rhinos can move faster than they might look like they can. Rhino charges have been clocked at up to 30 miles per hour. Despite their impressive speed, the rhinos do remain highly endangered. Throughout all of India and Nepal, there's only about 2,000 Indian rhinos left. One of the reasons that they are so highly endangered is demand for their horn, which I'll let you guys hear about now.
The horn of the rhinoceros is very different from that of a goat or antelope. It is not attached to the skull. Rhino horn is made from compressed keratin fibers, the same material that is found in fingernails and hair. Although rhinos are a protected species, poaching still occurs. Rhinos are killed for their body parts, but some people believe that this horn has special medicinal powers. It is also used as an ingredient in some traditional Asian medicines, and the rhino horn is also prized in some cultures for making dagger handles.
We come into our next meadow, you're going to look at some more of Asia's deer species. Right up front, you're going to see some sandy-colored deer. Those are the hog deer. They get their name because they have round bodies and short legs. We thought they both looked and moved more like a hog than a deer. Even further to the right, you're going to see some reddish-brown deer with white spots. Those are the Formosan Sika deer. They are native to the island of Taiwan, which is formerly known as Formosa. Unlike the axis deer that we saw just a few moments ago, they do retain their white spots throughout their entire lifetime. Right up here in the corner is the nilgai antelope. There's another one along the fencing. Those are the largest antelope species in southern Asia. They get their name from the male's coloration. As the male matures, his coat begins to take on a bluish hue, and in Hindi, the word nilgai means blue bull. Over here, these large brownish gray colored deer are the sambar deer. They are the largest deer species in southern Asia, standing up to 5 feet high at the shoulder and weighing up to 650 pounds. They also have incredibly long tongues. The male gamblers are just starting to come in for the season. They are fully grown. They'll be about 3 feet long, and they'll have up to 3 points on each bar. Those reddish-brown deer with the white spots, the Formosan Sika deer that we saw, are a conservation success story. By the early 1970s, the last wild herds of them had disappeared due to overhunting and loss of habitat, but thanks to cooperation among North American and Asian zoos, their populations were increased, and many of them were successfully reintroduced into national parks throughout Taiwan. Looks like we're going to be making a little stop here. There are trains ahead of us. We may have to make several stops as we complete our journey through wild Asia. Unfortunately, all of the deer at this time have migrated back to the front part of the exhibit where we just saw all of them. Oh, good. The red has turned to a yellow. As we cross this line of fencing, we're going to be on the lookout for the Chinese tufted deer. It is one of our smaller and more elusive deer species. When they are full grown, they still only weigh about 40 pounds apiece. And they have a short, grayish-brown coat, which helps them to blend in almost perfectly with the rocks and the trees in this exhibit. They get their name from the tufts of hair that conceal the antlers on their heads. And like the white... Where? They're in the cave then? Like the white-tailed deer in New York, they have a white fur on their tail and rump, which they will show to send a silent alarm signal to the rest of the herd. Many people think deer are silent animals, but actually a number of them can make a barking sound, much like the bark of a dog. And if they're stressed or frustrated, they can even growl. We are heading back over the Bronx River now. This is going to be the highest elevation on our journey. We're about 35 feet over the water. If you take a look into the river, you might see some carp or turtles swimming around. The Wildlife Conservation Society is working hard to keep the Bronx River corridor and greenway a safe and healthy resource that can be enjoyed by both wildlife and Bronx residents alike. If you want to learn more about the Bronx River, you can visit the Mitsubishi Riverwalk located. As we cross the river, the terrain's going to get rockier and steeper. This is the perfect environment for our Himalayan tar. You're going to start seeing some of our baby Himalayan tar. If you look on these stacked rocks all the way over here to the far right, you'll see a few of the little babies. There's 6 babies at the moment, so some of the larger ones there's 3 of them lying on a step. I think another smaller one is just 1 step higher. Again, there are trains ahead of us, so we're stopped again. Just as soon as those trains have moved a little bit further along to a safe distance away, we'll be able to move again. Can you guys see the little babies?
Oh, I see them.
The Himalayan tar is a relative of the wild goat, and they are well adapted to life on rocky terrain like this. They've got soft, rubbery cores in the center of their hooves, and that helps them to grip to the rocks, much like the sole of a hiking boot might. Both the males and the females have horns, but you can still tell them apart pretty easily. Not only are the males a little bit larger, but they've got slightly more elongated horns. And they've got a long blonde ruff of hair that wraps around their neck and shoulders, which makes them stand out really well. Hopefully we should be moving very shortly.